What's going on? Welcome back to Real World Tool Reviews. And I did a video a while ago about tools that I hate, and it was a fun video to do, but it made me feel bad because I like tools, and I have some tools that I love. So I figured it was about time to do a tools that I love. This is going to be the hand tool version of my favorite tools. These are the tools that I love. Um, and not all of it is beauty queen stuff. Some of it is just for some reason I love it. But here we go. I'm going to start with everybody's got hammers. You know, that's your classic. You know, everybody's got a hammer. Even if you don't work with tools for a living, everybody's got a hammer. And my favorite hammer, I've got two favorite hammers. But this right here is my favorite one. This is my East Wing. It's the Ultimate Hammer is what they call it. It's the smooth face 15-ounce one. And this hammer is just a perfect all-around everyday use kind of hammer. Especially for a lot of the stuff I do, like finish work. I'm not a framer. I don't frame houses. It's not a framing hammer. I do have a framing hammer that I use for occasions like that. Mostly I use it for tearing shit up, really. But this is a perfect, like, all around hammer. And I would just highly recommend it. It's the East Wing 15-ounce Ultimate Hammer. And then this guy right here is just, I found it. I think I paid $3 for it at a little, like, vintage store or something. It's like a little, I don't know, sometimes you just find stuff like this in those thrift stores. And I picked it up and I was just like, damn, I love how light it is. It's a real, I don't know how much it weighs or anything. There's no no brand markings or anything on it. It's got some blue paint on it for some reason. But it is the lightest and just best little tap hammer. I keep it in my tool bag that I use every day, and anytime I need to grab a hammer and just tap on something real quick, this is the one I use. I love it. I just love it. So you got to have good hammers. Now, the next tool that everybody has is screwdrivers, and my favorite screwdriver is this right here. I think this is my favorite one that I own. This is a Vaco. It comes in a set, but you need a big flathead like this. I love the Vaco bull drivers because they have a nice big acetate handle that just like really fits my big fat stupid hand well. But I've got some other screwdrivers that are my favorites. Here is my little beater one. Some of these tools, like, they're not all expensive or fancy or anything. I don't know where I got this one, but I have been beating the shit out of this screwdriver since I could hold it in my hand. I've been beating on that stupid thing, and it just keeps on going. And then here's the other ones. These screwdrivers, I thought about. It was hard to pick this list because I've got so many tools that I love. So I tried to keep it down, but screwdrivers are important. You got to have a good Phillips head screwdriver. And this one right here, if I just need a Phillips, I love this Wera one. It's got that fancy, like, etched tip on it or whatever. It really does hold screws better than other number 2 screwdrivers. And I love the way that fits. That's a good design of a handle, whatever they've done. And I like that it says, like, number 2, so you can just pick it out of your tool bag. You know what it is. This is my favorite number 2 Phillips screwdriver. And that's what everybody needs, a good one. And that's my favorite one. And I said this was my favorite screwdriver. I lied. This right here is my favorite screwdriver. This is also a Vaco. This is the old Made in USA Vaco. That one is too, Made in USA, but it's owned by Klein. Klein comes out with these now, but Vaco used to be its own company. And This is just a reversible Phillips and flat. I've talked about this one in other videos. This is what got me into the VACO screwdrivers, and I love the shape of this flathead. I love that it's just a little flipper, and my favorite thing about it is it locks in here so solid. Like other flipper screwdrivers or just multi screwdrivers in general are jiggly, and this one is not jiggly. It is just it's just my favorite screwdriver. I've ever since I found it, it has pretty much been a daily use screwdriver for me. It's just the best. So, hammers and screwdrivers, just your classic stuff. And in terms of just classic stuff, here is a hacksaw. Now, hacksaws, there's a million of them. Cheap ones work pretty much just as well as expensive ones. This is just your classic design, but this one is so much better than the hacksaw I had previously. I had a Stanley made in China one previously, but I found this one, Crescent Tool Company, Jamestown, New York. This is the old school Crescent brand, and it's got just this beautiful steel handle, and it's adjustable. You can move this and put different length blades on it. Right now I've got this kind of shorter blade, and it just makes it such a great size. I just love this hacksaw. I can't even tell you how much I love this hacksaw. Since I found it and have been using it, it's just the best, and it'll last forever. It's just such a solidly built, just old school, made in USA. Awesome hacksaw. And I got one more screwdriver. This is just my favorite multi screwdriver. The Klein HVAC 8-in-1 is what this one's called, and it is a slide drive 1/4 inch and 5/16 magnetic, and that's just awesome if you're doing handyman stuff or doing anything with appliances or air conditioners or anything like that. 1/4 inch and 5/16 is just like your bread and butter, and a magnetic one is just like awesome to have. Then it's got a little tiny flathead for thermostats and stuff. It's made for HVAC, but I use it for everything. And then it's got your Schrader valve tool for HVAC, Schrader valves. It's got your 1/4 inch and 5/16 on this side, but it's also got a 1/4 inch here and a 3/8 nut driver here. And then it's just got your number 2 Phillips and your flathead. But just in terms of an all-around multi screwdriver to use all the time, I love this one. It's my favorite. Got a lot of screwdrivers, a lot of favorite screwdrivers, but those are my favorite ones right there. And then you got to have pliers, and these are my favorite pliers right here. I found this pair a while ago, and I've fixed it up and made it a lot more shiny. It was just completely super rusted up, and I paid probably 50 cents for this pair of pliers, but I cleaned it up and started using it. This is a Utica 513-7 USA made, obviously. It has these little marks in it, that somebody did. I couldn't get them out. I don't care about that because this is just, I put this on my workbench on my pegboard here, and ever since it's been on that pegboard, I've used this pair of pliers just about every day. And just the way it feels, the way these cutters, this is just my favorite design of slip joint pliers that I've ever used. These cutters are really good, and the jaws are just, and the teeth here and the jaws, they're just really solid, well made. This is just, it's one of those old tools that is made so much better than stuff they make now. Just even the little details, like the little cross on the nut there, is just, if you use this pair of pliers, you would understand. It's just like, I don't know, there's something special about them to me for some reason. I don't really know why. I think somebody used these a long time, and I'm just continuing their life and they deserve to live a lot longer because they're awesome. And then you guys have heard me talk about these before, the Douglas. These are actually made by Wild Tools. I think it's actually pronounced Wildy, is what somebody was saying. I don't know. I've always called it Wild. But anyway, I've always called these Douglases because that's what they say. They're branded Douglas, made in USA. I learned about these from a plumber, and I got a pair, and you can tell, these are my most used channel locks. I use them all the time, and they just have awesome teeth that really bite well, and they open up like this. You guys have heard me talk about these a million times, but this is my favorite pair of pliers right here. I think definitely my favorite pair of channel locks. And then my last favorite pliers here is my Kleins, and these are actually new, but they're already my favorite. Like, I have my Kleins that I've always used are these ones here, and I still love them. They're still good, but you hold these after you hold these, it's like, man, these ones aren't as good, and these ones don't have the same cutters. This is the 2000 series, the super hardened cutters, and it's got double dipped plastic handles. It's twice as thick as the regular, and they're just the best Kleins ever. They're just the best. They're the best linesman's pliers that you can buy, in my opinion. And I've talked about them in other videos, so I'm not going to go over it like too much. But man, this is just like, I love a good pair of lineman pliers, and this is the best one I've ever used. And then just a few automotive tools here that I use in the shop that are my favorites. Obviously, one of my favorite tools is not just because I spent a lot of money on it. I spent $100 on this ratchet, $99. That's not what the real price is, but if you bought it off the Snap-on website or something, I think they'd probably be more like $140. But I got this one for a better deal than that. I got paid $100 for this Snap-on, and I love this hard style handle, and it's a long, like 11-inch ratchet. But I don't just love this because it's a Snap-on and because it's expensive. It just is amazing to use, and like, I have other good ratchets, and there's a lot of good ratchets out there, but this Snap-on, when it comes to just the smoothness of it and the back drag, like it has so little back drag, there's something about this Snap-on ratchet that I just love it. It's my favorite ratchet to use. If I am in a situation where I need a 3/8 ratchet, this is the one I'm going to use, and I don't think it'll ever change. I love this tool. And say what you will about Snap-on, it's expensive, whatever, but some of their stuff is just that good. I just have to say it. It just is. It just is. And I've got another 3/8 ratchet that I love for different reasons than this. This is just a really nice, high quality, awesome tool that I love. This one I love. This is an SK 3870, USA made, the old school SK roto head ratchet. And I love this one because I found it. I bought it for, pretty cheap at an estate sale. It just is, it reminds me of like just good old American. It's just awesome. I don't know what else to say other than that. This knurling is like really nice feeling knurling, real aggressive feeling knurling. And the other thing that's cool is I ordered, this was originally a 40-tooth ratchet, but SK sold a rebuild kit to make this into a double paw, and I bought it. And so that made this an 80-tooth ratchet. And so it's actually a really nice, not only is it a really well-built, nice ratchet, but it also is upgraded. And I did that upgrade, and that's just that makes it even more special to me. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful tool, and I enjoy using it, especially in the shop. You know, because the roto head is actually nice to kind of like, you know, you can break something loose with it and then spin it out like this. It's actually a really useful ratchet. A 1/4 inch one is really the most useful. I'd love to find maybe a 1/4 inch SK one, but 1/4 inch wise, this here, I'm a big SK fan. I love finding old SK stuff. This is my SK little 1/4 inch ratchet, and this one, it's kind of like using this snap-on. It's like you use this ratchet, it is so smooth and the back drag is so little. It's just like for a tiny little ratchet, if I need a little 1/4 inch one, this is my absolute favorite one. There's just something so smooth about this little 1/4 inch ratchet. I just love it. And finally, just some little wrenches that I love in the shop. So like a lot of this stuff, like, you know, this screwdriver and this one and like my little hammer, it's just stuff that I picked up and just kept because it was so handy. And these little SK wrenches are that way. I just love them. I use them all the time in the shop working on little things. I've got this is a 5/16, a 3/8, and a 10mm. And these are, you know, that's three pretty common sizes for everything. I find myself using this little 10mm wrench all the time. And these, what I love is these are all 6-point. It's hard to find 6-point combination wrenches, and I'd love to have all of the SK 6-point combination wrenches. Maybe someday I'll find them. But these little tiny wrenches, I just grab them all the time and use them working on little things in my shop. And there's just something about them. Like this one's an SK Wayne, this one's an SK Tools, and that one's an SK Wayne. I don't know where I found them. I found them over the years, but man, they're just great. They're just great little, some of my favorite little tools. So that's it. This is my favorite hand tools. Like, it was really hard for me to pick this stuff out and narrow it down to what my favorites are, but that's it. Those are my favorites. It's just tough to beat some of this stuff, but other stuff is just like things that I've found over the years. You know, there's stuff that is something really, it's special when you find stuff like this that you know, maybe would have gotten thrown away or just thrown somewhere if you didn't find it. And I found this stuff, and I have given this stuff new life in my shop. And that means a lot to me, you know, because a lot of times I'll go to estate sales where an old guy who had a nice workshop has died or something like that, and I like to take the tools that they used in their life and continue them in my life. You know, I like to think that maybe if they could know that they would know that I'm continuing the life of their tools that they love so much. So anyway, that's my favorite hand tools, and I will have a part 2 of this video for my favorite power tools, because that was a whole new rabbit hole I couldn't go down. So anyway, look out for that. But favorite hand tools, let me know what you guys, what your favorite hand tools are. I would love to hear about that. Let us know, because this is just fun to talk about. So anyway, thanks for watching.